but just for the resource and for quick demo, I have used AWS. If you try to test this lab, you can use VMware workstation, and then you can create Windows Server 2019 and then launch it, and then follow the steps I have followed to install that on AWS Windows Server, right? And it will work for you. I will click here, and then if I expand that, now I can scroll down here, and I have Active Directory users and computers. So this is my domain name. If I expand it, I have this folder without this icon, call it container, and this one, call it the OU, the organization unit. The difference between them is that on the organization unit we can apply you can group policies, but on containers we are not to do that. So we have administrator, we have many users. So I will create new user, call it and click on next. And then password, click on next, finish, and that user created. So now the question is, how can I synchronize that user that are on my Active Directory or my domain controller in the corporate data center to our Active Directory or our Azure Active Directory? So there is a software that you have to install it on your Windows server, right? But the problem here I face it is that the Edge Microsoft does not exist on this Windows Server 2019, and I am not able to download that software from Internet Explorer because it is already expired and told me that the information not secure, etc. So that's why I avoided that, because I will provide that with my credential, and I feel so scared that that credential not the connection is not established securely, and then if there is any hackers on the network can hack my credential and store my Active Directory accounts, etc. So for that I will just showing you the steps of doing that, and that steps you can find them as well in this documentation. They will show you how you can install the active the Azure this software Azure AD Connect. You have to install it on the machines on your machine that has the domain controller, right? And then you have to provide, after you install it, you have to follow these steps. You scroll down, then here you provide your users here. This is synchronize selected domains and OUs, and here you find users, right? Then you click on next, you follow these steps, and then your users will be synchronized to your Azure Active Directory. The same thing or the same procedure we have done when we tried to synchronize user from our Active Directory to our AWS single sign-on users. So the same steps, but this time we'll use the Active Directory connector software. Another thing here I have not covered yet, and it will be the last section, and it will be the end of our lab, is the Active Directory Federation Service. This Active Directory Federation Service is a software that has been developed by Microsoft that allow us to authenticate users. So if we come here and go to the Server Manager, and add roles and features, you will find that there are server role that calls Active Directory Federation Service. So when you install this software, right, you have to install this Active Directory Certificate Service as well. But you have not to install all of them in the same server, but instead you can create another Windows server and another Windows server for Active Directory Federation Service, right? And then join both of the server in the same domain, right? As they explained you here in this documentation, right? And then when you do that, at the end, you will have this architecture at the end. I will just show you the theory behind this. Is, for example, you have your domain name here that you will create here in AWS Managed Microsoft AD that we have specified here abdali.com. I have showed you how you can create that. Then you will create 4 servers, Windows Server, one as our Microsoft Enterprise CA or Certificate Authority. So why we use that? Because it is for free, right? And they have covered what is Certificate Authority in this lab or in this playlist. You can come back when I talked about the Kubernetes role-based access control, and you have to install the ADFS. I have showed you as well, and the AD administrator tools. I have showed you as well how you can do that. Then the AD Connect server as well. I have showed you how you do that via installing this software that is showing you here, right, to synchronize user. So this one will allow you to synchronize user, and this one will allow you to authenticate users to your AWS managed Active Directory. So once you type this command, for example, if you want to sign into your Office 365, then you type this user one at abdali.com. Then this request will go to the Active Directory, because Office 365 use Active Directory as the identity provider. Then this Active Directory will detect that this user belongs to this domain. And we have to create a trust relationship between, for itself, we have to join this domain to this forest, right? So we will have a forest here, and then we have to create a trust relationship between 2 domains. So this user will be mounted here, and the other one will be mounted as well here. So what Active Directory will do, will know about this domain, and it will try to ask Office 365 to redirect that request to AWS Managed Microsoft AD. Then when this office will redirect that request, this Active Directory AWS Managed Microsoft ID will generate a token service that will contain the information about this user, and it will send it back to the Active Directory, and the Active Directory will generate another token and send it back to the office, and the office will be known about this user one that is in this domain, and it will allow him to authenticate. So I hope that you have understood what I tried to explain for you. So this lab has come to the end. Thank you for watching, and if you like my lab, don't forget to like it, leave me a comment to motivate me, and share it with your friends. So thank you for your watching again.